education, prevention, care. The Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute was recognized by the Louisiana Athletic Training Association with the President's Award for Excellence in Health and Safety. With a passion for ensuring the well-being of over 23,000 student athletes and covering 1,400 sports events annually, our athletic trainers are dedicated to providing the best care in sports medicine. Discover more about Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute at tghealthsystem.com.
Here from Terrebonne, they call it the jungle. It is going to be Jay Johnson jumping against Billiot. Mr. Robert Brown, Mr. Ashton Dillon, and Mr. Sidney Ward. Or the three. Let's have a good time here. Terriers left to right, Tigers right to left. It's party time from Houma, Louisiana. We are underway with Vandebilt controlling the tip north.
Really, I tried stealing that tip early, trying to knock it to his guys.
Matthews in the corner attacks. We're going to get to Johnson. Attacks off the bounce inside to Jaden Coleman. Lays it up and in. So Jaden Coleman scores the first two. And Brandon Brown calls a timeout 16 seconds into the game. Something tells me there was a message in the pregame. Hey, let's not let Jaden Coleman get into the lane when he makes a layup 16 seconds in. Brandon calls a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Vandebilt came out, a little good ball movement against Terrebonne was trying to get into the zone. I'm not sure if everyone was on the same page and had the same message that they were in a zone because Jaden Coleman just slashed to the block, got right in the middle for an open layup.
Have you ever called a timeout 16 seconds into the game?
No.
No?
I'm going to tell you in a second what I seen one called early.
Vandebilt in some pressure. Mahoney across the timeline. Up in the air, reversing it to the left side. Now top of the key, Mahoney attacking. And throws it away, but it's deflected, so it'll stay there. So an opportunity for the Tigers.
Terry is in a man-to-man defense.
Garner getting into Billiot. Billiot on the right side of the floor, back to Garner. Getting it to Kylan. He's fighting in the paint, shoots it up and one. So a good start to the game for Kylan Billiot. Whatever Coach Brown told his team in the timeout paid off, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, I seen on a jump ball, opening ball, jump to start the game. The ball was tipped, going out of bounds. Guy catches the ball in midair before he hits out of bounds and calls a timeout to save it from going out of bounds.
We have a foul on the missed free throw. Vandebilt gets the rebound, and a foul will be on Terrebonne. Wow.
No time off the clock.
Oh, boy. Can't say I've seen that one. Now, Terrebonne bringing some pressure. Both teams are pressing one another. Matthews to Johnson. Back to Matthews on the right side wing area. Getting it to Jaden Coleman to the left side. That's Kennard. Getting it to Cutter. That's Matthews under the rim. That's a held ball. Good call by Mr. Robert Brown. And the arrow points to Terrebonne. So the Tigers will have a possession. Good interior defense that time.
Yeah, you got away with a travel. Look.
Here comes Terrebonne quickly the other way. At the rim and a blur. Maddox lays it up and in. And it's 4-2 Terrebonne. Coach Brown said, when I was talking to him before the game, he said, man, we welcome it. If they want to pressure us, make it a fast-paced game, we're okay with that. Kennard on the baseline misses the floater, gets his own rebound, misses the floater. Rebound goes out of bounds to Vandebilt. So the Terriers will get a third opportunity. That's something Terrebonne can't afford to have tonight. They're going to have to win on the glass. They've got a little bit more size than the Terriers. They're going to have to win on the glass. Got a steal here, but Vandebilt takes it back. Johnson, now Terrebonne finally pulls it away. In transition, they lose it again to Vandebilt, though. A couple of turnovers in a couple of seconds. Matthews with a three. Got it. That is a three-pointer off the bounce. That's a tough shot.
Transition three.
And that's why that kid's going to be playing at the next level. 5-4. Get it to Billiot. Shoots a floater at the rim. Blocking foul and one. Second time tonight. Kylan scores and draws a foul, and it's 6-5 Terrebonne. Partner, we talked in the pregame about him being more aggressive. We're seeing it in the early stages.
And both teams are trying to get the ball inside early, drawing some fouls. Billiot's doing a good job for the Tigers getting the and ones.
Kylan misses another one. Rebound goes to Kennard. Got converted the line. Jaden Coleman coming the other way hard. And it's Kennard. Now Matthews. Matthews right on that baseline to Kennard. Kennard is like the P.J. Tucker of this team. Just does all the dirty work. Johnson getting all the way to the cup and drawing the foul. So Johnson, got to tell you, was a little out of control there, but he does draw the whistle.
No shooting foul.
He'll be shooting to J.J. Johnson. It's actually Josiah Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. And if you could drive like that and you want to be called JJ, we say, aye, Captain.
Oh, yeah, whatever you want. You want to call AA, BB, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. He makes them both at the free throw line. Billiot. Getting it to the middle of the floor. It's Maddox. Out of Mahoney. Mahoney loses it. The Terriers got it. Kennard pushing it to Jahari Coleman. Jahari Coleman with a head of steam, my goodness, into the lane. Lays it up, missed it. Rebound goes to the Tigers, but the Terriers pull it back. Jahari Coleman, how about a second try? He draws the foul on Billiot. So Jahari Coleman missed the first one, stole it, and then went up and drew the foul on the second one. That's a foul on Billiot. You know what I have realized after 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this? We're going to have a lot of points scored tonight.
Looks like it, if they can make free throws.
Vandebilt misses that one. It's a game so far that is favoring the offense, and it seems to be a pretty tightly officiated game so far, which leads you to believe we might see some bonus opportunities. Jahari makes one of two, and it's 8-6 Vandebilt. Billiot working into Renaj Smith. Billiot now getting it to Mahoney on the right side to the corner. Garner attacks baseline to Naj. Attacks the free throw line area. Missed it. Rebound goes to Jaden Coleman. Jaden Coleman's just a sophomore. He is a special, special talent. He's working it across the timeline now, getting it to his older brother, Jahari Coleman. And they get it to Johnson at the rim. Lays it up and in. Good, strong move on the left side. Now Terrebonne quickly the other way. Gardner at the rim. Lays it up and in.
Oh, strong move by Gardner on the inside.
In a blur, these teams go back and forth at one another. Here come the Terriers. Johnson getting it to Jahari Coleman. Coleman versing it to Matthews. Matthews top of the key. Getting it to Jalen Coleman. And Coleman back to Matthews. How about another Missed that one, and it'll rattle around the top of the goal. So an empty possession.
Terry is doing a good job. They're getting the ball inside to their guards. That last time, Matthews took a 3 and missed it, but he just hit one.
Billiot across the timeline. Attacks the right side of the floor and throws it to no one. I think Renaj Smith thought that when it got deflected, he kind of got away from the ball, but no one touched it. It's out of bounds, and that's the Tigers are trying to say it was deflected. I don't think it was.
Gardner's got to be careful for the Terrebonne Tigers.
Jahari Coleman will draw the foul on Gardner. Gardner was trying to draw an offensive foul, but instead commits the defensive foul.
Yeah, he's very aggressive on the defensive end right now. Picked up that foul.
10-8 Vandebilt, midway through the opening quarter. It's our game of the week. It's one of the games of the year. The Terriers, Jahari Coleman getting it to Jaden Coleman. Now to Kennard, looks inside, now back to Jaden Coleman. Back to Kennard in the corner for a 3. Splash, big shot from Sam Kennard. And it's 13-8. And boy, when he's making it from outside, that's another weapon in the arsenal that you got to worry about.
Tough to defend.
Tigers have an answer. Mahoney getting it to Smith on the right side.
Terry's in a 1-2-2 zone.
Dropping it to Mahoney. Mahoney on the right side, now to Smith.
That's a matchup zone.
Billiot, top of the key. Kylan getting it to the right side, now into the paint they go. That's Smith. Lost it, but Billiot comes away, lays it up and in. Just his leaping ability and his athleticism. Quickly the other way, Jahari Coleman. At the rim, he walked. Yep, good call. That's a good call by the official. And it leads to another possession for Terrebonne, down 3.
You can see what the Terriers want to do. They want to push the ball in transition.
Here come the Tigers with a 3. Splash!
Wow.
That is Maddox scoring it, and we're tied 13 apiece.
The net didn't move on that shot.
These are two good basketball teams. Jahari Coleman quickly the other way with the floater. Missed it. Rebound goes to Billiot.
Good job defense by Billiot for Tigers.
Maddox with another 3. That one's short. Rebound goes to Coleman. Here he comes. Jahari Coleman with a head of steam. Now picks up the dribble. Reverses it to Kennard. Shoots a mid-range. Hand down, man down. Kennard has got 5, and it's 15-13. These two teams are both playing at a high level in the early stages. Vandebilt up 2. Billiot using a high screen. To Maddox, who made a 3 a minute ago, gets the defender up in the air. Out to Billiot. It's ricocheted around the Vandebilt. They're pushing it down the floor. Jaden Coleman at the rim. Lays it up and in. Good strong move from the sophomore. Boy, the Terriers are like a NASCAR race. They are flying down the floor in transition.
That's tough. You turn the ball over, live ball turnovers. They're coming right back at you in transition for a layup.
Mahoney trying to steady the game a little bit. They get it to the corner of Maddox. He made one a minute ago. Missed that one. Rebound goes to Johnson. Terriers will come the other way. Matthews pushing it hard. Crossover dribble to Kennard, who's had the hot hand. Missed that one. Rebound to Billiot. Billiot goes to the floor, being closely guarded, and a second timeout called by Coach Brandon Brown. Good job by the officials. They're not taking the bait. Kylan was using his off arm to kind of try to initiate contact, went to the ground. The officials didn't buy it. I think that's a good job.
Yeah, he tried to get the foul called and drew a little bit of contact, but look, they were going pretty quick down the floor. And again, when that happens, officials tend to let you play. So, yeah, good no call right there. And a heads up by Coach Brown getting that timeout. Sure, he didn't want to use one this early, but maybe he can come on a set play here and see if the Tigers can maybe attack with the inside right now. Last few times they settled for some three-point shots, and you got to be careful, Casey, on his long three-point shots. If you miss, it's long rebound. That's giving those guards from Vandebilt.
And you're off to the races at that point.
Last court for him to dribble the ball down the floor.
Let's reset. 17-13, Vandebilt in front. 1:43 to go in the opening quarter. Both teams have had some leads. Both teams have had some momentum swings. It's going to be Landon Wolf inbounding for the Tigers. Getting it to Mahoney. It's a late arriving crowd, but when you look behind us, it's pretty full.
It is.
And we have a lost ball. Kennard draws some contact, and Mahoney dribbles it off of his chest out of bounds. Turnover to the Terriers.
Another 6th turnover for the Tigers in this first quarter.
I don't know if Vandebilt has 2 extra jerseys, but a couple of Charles twins just walked in. They can maybe lend a hand.
Yeah.
Coleman. That's Jaden Coleman, not to be confused with Jahari or Jalen. Jalen is now in the game. He's got the basketball to Kennard. Back to Jaden Coleman. Now Matthews. Matthews in the triple threat, getting it to Jaden Coleman. Now Jalen Coleman to Jaden Coleman. Now Jalen Coleman to Kennard in the corner. Missed it. Rebound goes to the Tigers.
Good defense from the Tigers.
Garner coming the other way, getting it to Maddox, who's had a good shooting stroke. Maddox reversing it to the left side of the floor. That is to Garner. Now Smith, good ball movement. Maddox attacks the lane. Tough shot. Blocking foul and 1. Tough call goes against the Terriers that time, and it's an and 1 for Jakari Maddox. The foul's on Kennard. That's a 50-50 one.
Well, and Kennard took a knee, I think, to the chest.
Look, Vandebilt has so many explosive players, but they have very few players who are as valuable as that kid. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Jahari Coleman checks into the game for Kennard.
Yeah, and great job by Kennard on defense. The call could have gone either way.
Free throw is good, and it's a 1-point game again.
To give credit, the official was right on that. He called it right away.
Matthews getting it to Jaden Coleman. Back to Johnson all the way to the rim, lays it up and in. Boy, his game has developed just since this year. He is really playing with some confidence right now and at a high level. Maddox to Mahoney, inside to Maddox. Has a clean taken away by Jahari Coleman, and then a foul. That'll be the 15th foul. That'll be putting Vandebilt on the line. That's a costly one for the Tigers.
Everyone's got to be careful with their emotions right here. That was an emotional foul with the turnover. Then he fouls right back. You got to be careful here, especially when Vanderbilt's in the bonus.
You know the crazy thing, dude, and this is why Vandebilt is 17-3 or whatever their record is. There's no margin for error. You turn over the ball at all, they're coming back the other way and they're making you pay. They just make you play a perfect game pretty much to try to score against them.
Yeah, and with their ball movement in the half-court set, if you get one guy out of position, they take advantage of it.
Coleman makes them both at the line, and it's 21-16. Vanderbilt does have several fouls to give. Let's see if they take one. Mahoney. Behind the back dribble. Gets up in the air. Kicks it to Smith. Smith working on Jalen Coleman. There's 11 seconds to go in the quarter. Inside they go to Wolf. Overshot the pass and throws it away. Vanderbilt's going to get the big boy into the game. That is Silas Hill. We saw Silas play in the JV game. Watch out for a lob here. He's got good hands. Matthews.
Yeah, I think they'll try and go inside to him.
Coleman with 3. Matthews from the parking lot for 3. In and out. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter with our score. Vandebilt 21, Terrebonne 16. Let's get you a 1-minute break. The Terriers are up 5 on ESPN 100.3. It's our game of the week. Scoreboard from the NFL. It's 0-0 in Green Bay and San Francisco between the Packers and the 49ers, but the Packers are in the red zone, according to Dominic here. It's 21-16. Vandebilt had its first, but forced a turnover, but then a block shot by Jahari Coleman. Terrebonne gets the rebound. Maddox. Now to Renaj Smith. Terriers take it back, and then a foul. Terrebonne needs to protect the basketball. Right now, they are not doing a good enough job limiting their turnovers, and this is not a team that you could turn over the basketball against.
Yeah, I think the Tigers are going to have to slow down the tempo a little bit. You can't keep running with the Terriers.
It's playing right into their strength. Coleman loses the dribble. He's out of bounds. Yes, he is. We had a great look at it there. Mr. Robert Brown was right on it. Here come the Tigers. Mahoney getting it to Verdon. Verdon's kind of a wild card. I said that before we got on the air. When he's making shots, he really gets going. Here's a three. Missed it short. Rebound goes to Johnson. Here come the Terriers. Johnson trotting across the timeline. Spinning at the rim, lays it up and in, and it is 23-16.
By Johnson, the ball was knocked almost out of his hands. He catches the ball when he's in the air.
Nearly a steal by Coleman, but instead of three by the Tigers. Mahoney, no good. Rebound to Hill, and he traveled. Went to the floor. To the point, Coach. We saw Johnson earlier in the season. He was not playing with this much confidence. He has developed into a weapon for those Terriers.
Coach Veal got to be real careful. He was about 5-6 steps on the court arguing that call.
He's still out there. Matthews will leave and get a breather. Can the Terriers find some offense without him? Wolf to Verdon, who thought about the shot, but then pump faked it to Mahoney. Mahoney splits the lane, and a hand check foul will be called on the Terriers. With 6:43 to go in the second quarter.
Look, if Verdon can get hot from the outside, that's just going to open up those penetrating lanes for the Tigers even more.
Baseline out of bounds opportunity for Coach Brown and the crew. They get it inbounds to Wolf. Now Mahoney. And Wolf was not aware that the pass was coming, but he still saves it. Thrown away. Jahari Coleman off to the races. On the left side, he draws the foul. Jahari Coleman is having a big day. The senior playing well on the road. He's going to go shoot a couple more. He's got, 3 points so far in the game, trying to add to it.
Yeah, and nice hustle by Mahoney getting back and not letting Coleman shoot an uncontested layup. He fouled him reaching in for the ball.
Jahari Coleman is one of the better pitchers in our area. He is a good left-handed relief pitcher. He decided this year, his senior year, I've never played football before. Let me go give it a shot. Yeah, he made All-State as a wide receiver. Great, tremendous athlete. Shoots it up and made that one. Made one of two, 24-16.
Big possession here for the Terrebonne Tigers. They're going to get a bucket.
Verdon to Mahoney. Now getting it to Wolf. Throws it away, and the Terriers get it back. Wolf has it again, works it to the opposite baseline to Garner. Now to Verdon. Everything just looks a little uncomfortable right now for the Tigers. They get it inside to Wolf. He loses it, but he draws the foul. So maybe that'll help Terrebonne slow the game down, getting a couple of free throws.
Yeah, I think the Tigers are going to have to try and get the ball on the inside.
They got 3 subs coming into the game. As the free throw, I didn't see he missed it.
I think he did. I couldn't.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was looking at the camera.
It's 24-16, so he missed it.
He missed it. We will actually watch this one from Landon Wolf. And he missed it. Rebound goes to the Terriers. Jahari Coleman, the senior. Named after his papa, Jahari Sr. Getting it to J.J. Johnson. Now to Jaden Coleman. Coleman attacks the lane. Lays it up in traffic. No. Rebound goes to the Tigers. Verdon. Verdon pitching it to the corner for a 3-point try. Renaj Smith burying the three. That's a big shot for Terrebonne.
Shot that with confidence from the corner.
Johnson coming the other way for the Terriers. Inside to Jaden Coleman and one. The fact that that kid is a sophomore, man, he is so smooth and so poised, never gets rattled. He gets an and one, and he has got 6 points in the game.
And the thing with Vandebilt, their guards, I mean, they see the floor so well, and they just move the ball around their offense. Last time they had like a three-man weave at the top and waited for their lane to open up. When it opened up, they penetrate straight to the basket.
Free throw is good, and it's 27-19, and a timeout by Vandebilt, I believe. So, partner, what are you seeing out there? The Terriers lead by 8. Coach Veal calls the 30-second timeout.
Look, how you defend Vandebilt? They got guards that can penetrate to the basket. They draw fouls. They already went to the free throw line 9 times. If you stop the penetration, they kick out to someone like Sam Kennard that can shoot the 3 ball. It is a tough team to defend, and the Tigers are doing a decent job of it right now. Just on the offensive end, I think they're going to have to find a way to get the ball in the paint, and they need to start getting to the foul line. They only got there 4 times so far.
And, Coach, you didn't even mention one of the best sources of their offense is getting steals and pushing it down the floor in transition. Yeah, it's an offensive machine. And it's just an 8-point game. Terrebonne's still very much in it. Verdon working on Coleman, gets a screen. Loses it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tigers.
Yeah, and then on the defensive end, they force you into turnovers. The Tigers have about 11 turnovers.
They make sure nothing comes easy. Billiot getting it to Renaj Smith. Missed it. Rebound goes to Jalen Coleman. Gets it to Jaden Coleman, but Verdon pokes it away.
It's a nice play by Verdon.
Verdon at the rim. Nice footwork. He passed out of 2 free throws, though. Got up in the air, drew the contact, and then passed the ball out.
Yeah, nice defensive play by Verdon for the Tigers.
Oh, they're going to give him 2 shots. I thought that he was making the attempt to pass, but they're going to give him 2.
And I think Coach Veal saw what you saw.
Yeah, that he was not in any way attempting a shot.
Yeah, they're going to give him 2.
It's easy to officiate a game from the bleachers, right?
Yeah.
Verdon makes that one. And it's 27-20.
Easy to call the game on Facebook, too. A lot of people are doing.
Kennard checks into the game. That's good news.
Now, this could be a big spot for the Tigers. He gets Verdon at the line, shooting these foul shots. You can work on your form out here, your technique. Let's see next time you shoot the 3 ball what happens.
Missed the second, but the rebound goes out of bounds. No, not out of bounds. Kennard got it and lost it, or traveled with it, rather. I think Kennard is arguing that he got it and got mugged.
It looked like it was contact that forced him down to the ground.
So the Tigers will inbound under the basket. Let's see if they can make that hurt. Verdon on the right side. Getting it to Billiot, going high in the air. Boy, look at the athleticism, but the Terriers try to pull it away, can't. And then we have a foul. That'll be the 4th team foul on Vandebilt. They're over the limit. Brian Highland is such a weapon. You just throw the ball up into the ceiling, and he's going to go get it.
And most people, if they were in that situation, would have been a turnover. He just used his athletic ability and got up there and caught the ball. And look, teams need to settle down. There's fouls being called. It's fouls.
Yep, I agree. Billiot on the right side, working on Jahari Coleman. Now backing down. Got fouled there. Yeah, it's going to be the 15th foul.
I mean,
that's an easy one. I mean, just raked him across the arm.
And on the inbounds play, I mean, he got an arm bar across him. That could be called a foul. Officials are letting them play, but when you obvious foul, you got to keep your composure here.
Billiot's free throw is in and out. Boy, the Tigers are leaving some points at the line. I know that will not make Coach Brandon Brown happy. Nor his assistant coach, big Cowboys fan, Shane Horner. Missed them both. Rebound goes to Matthews, and here come the Terriers. Matthews Attacks. Kicks it to the corner. No, Coleman is called for a charge. Jahari Coleman called for the charge. That's at least 2 fouls on him. I think the fouls are starting to stack up on the Terriers a little bit, as now Jahari will leave the game. Jaden has already left the game.
And look, the Terriers, honestly, they have to stop worrying about the officials right now and just play.
Now, if you're Terrebonne, you've got your opponent reeling a little bit. You're deep into their bench. You got to make a little surge here. Verdon on the right side of the floor to Maddox. Left-handed three. No. Rebound goes out of bounds to Vandebilt. You know, it's one thing to be in the bonus. It's another thing to have some of their starters out. But if you don't trim it down on the scoreboard, it doesn't mean anything. We got some pushing and shoving going on between Verdon and Matthews. The Tigers are going to get Gardner into the game. Getting the sense that some of the kids on these teams know one another.
Yeah, Gardner's going to he's a defensive player coming in.
Matthews, long home run pass to Kennard. They pass it to the rim. That is Nixon, who doesn't catch it clean and then stepped out of bounds. I've not seen a whole lot of Terrell Nixon at the varsity level in their unforced turnover. But again, Terrebonne's got to make it hurt on this end. Billiot coming quick to Verdon. Get to Gardner. Back to Verdon. Being guarded by Sandolph. And they lose it out of bounds. Boy, the Tigers just right now on offense, it's a struggle.
Yeah, that right there is an unforced turnover.
Here comes Vandebilt. Where's the offense going to come from? Johnson. Getting it to Matthews. It's two good options right there. Kennard to Matthews. Matthews attacks the lane, feeds it outside for a three-point try. It's an air ball, but Matthews is there, and it almost works out like a pass. And he lays it up and in. And the other way, Billiot backs down at the rim, lays it up. No, rebound goes to the Terriers. Johnson. Johnson coming down the floor. Excuse me, that's Matthews now getting it back to Johnson, who comes across the timeline. Long three. Missed it. Rebound to Billiot. Billiot pushing it down the floor. Attacks Matthews, and a hand check foul will be called, and 2 free throws coming for the Tigers. One of those good news, bad news situations. The Tigers are shooting them, but boy, they have not made really any.
No. They missed 7 so far. And look, the Terriers are going to have to adjust to the way the officials are calling the game now. If you got your hand on them and they call a foul, you're going to have to play defense and not put your hand on them.
They just missed another free throw. Billiot left it short. You've got to convert at the line if you want to have a chance against a team like this. He missed them both. My goodness. Almost becomes mental. Nixon getting it to Kennard. Now to Sandolph. Sandolph up in the air, throws it away. Verdon's got it, but he lost it out of bounds. Oh, a foul. So that'll be 2 free throws for Verdon. So you said they've missed 9 now? How many have they made?
2.
So they are 2 of 11 at the line. Verdon will try to change that. He made 1 of them earlier. He missed that one. My goodness. I'm looking over at Brandon and Shane. They are just throwing their hands up. What do you do? You are you're getting to the line. You're drawing fouls. You're doing everything you want to do. You're just not making them right now. Verdon shoots it up. And he made that one. Maybe that could change the karma a little bit, but it looked like he missed it and it rolled in. Terriers, Johnson. Up in the air to Matthews. Matthews penetrating. Inside they go, and it's going to be deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Terriers. I want to give a shout out to our buddies Damien and Nick who are watching this ball game. Johnson. Think Damien's getting in any trouble today?
Without a doubt.
They get it to the corner for a three, no good. Rebound goes up in the air. They're fighting. Boy, great hustle from Jalen Coleman. Tigers are trying to take it away. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Vandebilt.
Good box out by the Terrebonne Tigers. Smith did a great job, but Vandebilt had 3 guards in the area, and they were just tipping the ball around.
The Terriers are struggling to score, but they are saving themselves by not allowing Terrebonne to score, or maybe Terrebonne is helping the cause by not making their free throws, one or the other. Kennard with a 3-point try. Splash! That helps. 3 on the board, and the Terriers lead by double digits. Here come the Tigers. Billiot lowering his head. He walked. Yes, he did. It's an easy call for the officials there. Brian, I know that Terrebonne has the foul situation where they want it, but I think they need halftime.
Yeah, they need something positive right here. Look, Billiot was trying to make a play. He just slipped.
Matthews across the timeline. He's fouled. That is the 4th team foul. Our guy Damien has reported back, said he's not getting in any trouble today.
I wonder if that's his first lie today.
Which means that he's lying. We're just kidding, buddy. Matthews reversing it to Coleman for a 3. Missed it. That's Jalen Coleman on the miss. Now Billiot coming the other way and throws it away. Terrebonne is just uncomfortable. That's the best way I could explain it. Nothing has come easy, but you give Vandebilt a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, when Terrebonne gets a rebound, they're not running down the floor. They're coming and attacking the ball. There's 2 guards defending the ball almost at all times.
Nixon to Jalen Coleman. Coleman across the timeline. Picks up the dribble, loses it, and here come the Tigers with the steal. Renaj Smith getting it to Verdon at the rim, lays it up. No. Renaj lays it up, blocked away by Coleman. And the Terriers try to pull it away, but Verdon's on the floor fighting for it. The arrow points to Terrebonne. With 1:15 to go in the opening half.
As aggressive as these two teams are, if there's a scramble, you got to have some quick whistles.
Yep. It's like fighting for a fumble during an NFL game. You don't want to be on the bottom of that pile.
There's so much pussy going around.
Tigers get it into Maddox. Power dribble, lays it up and in. That's a good, strong move with the left, as Coach said, and it's a 9-point game. And we have a offensive foul called on Terrebonne. No, but technical foul called. He might get thrown out if you don't watch it.
Walk away.
Yeah, Nixon gets called for a technical foul. He was under the basket, miles and miles away from the play, and he's still hot. The free throw is good. I'm not going to lie. I was following the ball. I have no idea what happened.
I didn't see.
Free throw is no good.
1 of 2.
So they make 1 of 2, but they keep possession. Silas Hill will check into the game. Nixon will check out. I'll tell you this. Leon Veal seems to agree with the officials. He's pretty angry. Verdon to Smith. How about a 3? Strong. Rebound goes to Hill. And they long pass to Matthews. Matthews is fouled, and that's the 5th. Boy, that's a costly foul. You put him on the free throw line. You know he's a good shooter.
I think both teams need halftime right here where they can go and regroup. Very high emotions from both teams right here.
Matthews with the free throw. Everything double bonus. He missed it. Quincy Adams checks into the game for the Tigers. 52.2 to go in the half. Free throw is good. And it's 33-24. Mahoney to Verdon. Back to Mahoney. Tigers get a bucket here. trim that deficit down. They're down 9. Up in the air, dropping it to Adams. Tough move, lays it up and in. That's a good, nice shot in traffic. And it's 33-26. A long inbounds. Passing it down the floor. Kennard's by himself, and he lays it up and in. And it's 35-26. Billiot now coming with a head of steam. Good ball movement. Mahoney with a 3. Splash! Boy, the offense was a struggle, but now both teams are scoring it. Can the Tigers get a stop before half, or can Vandebilt come back at him? Matthews being closely guarded. To the corner. Coleman for 3. No, and that'll be the end of the first half. A very exciting first half with our score. Vandebilt 35, Terrebonne 29. We'll be back in 3 minutes, Dominic, with our halftime report. It's our game of the week on ESPN 100.3.
At Bourgeois Meat Market, our slogan is Miracles in Meat since 1891. To be in business over 130 years, the most important thing is to have a quality product. The next most important thing is customer service. Our old meat market is in Schriever, Louisiana, and we're really proud to be opening up our brand new store in Gray, Louisiana. We have Rev at both locations now. So all these new scales and our POS system runs on technology, and we need Rev to make that happen for us. I highly recommend Rev Business.
Are you searching for the next best thing for your finances? At Synergy Bank, we have everything you've been searching for in a community bank. Stop by to visit our friendly team at Synergy locations near you or anytime online at synergybank.com. Member FDIC.
Education, prevention, care. The Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute was recognized by the Louisiana Athletic Training Association with the President's Award for Excellence in Health and Safety. With a passion for ensuring the well-being of over 23,000 student athletes and covering 1,400 sports events annually, our athletic trainers are dedicated to providing the best care in sports medicine. Discover more about Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute at tghealthsystem.com.
We are going to start the second half here. Vandebilt leading by 6, 35-29 over Terrebonne. We've already got Coach Kale's keys. Scoreboard update. We got Mount Carmel securing a 2-point win over South Lafourche in a girls basketball game earlier today. I have not gotten a score from HL Bourgeois and Slidell. I would love to get one. If anybody is listening, we would love to hear a scoreboard update from out there.
Well, you ran that Tarpon game earlier?
Nah.
I'm just asking you a question. If you went to the game,
Yeah, no, I was there. I was there. Very unfortunate set of circumstances at the end.
Lady Tarpon actually had a lead, right, in that game?
Yes, didn't close out. Didn't play well in the fourth quarter, and the last sequence was unfortunate. But yeah, there were other situations there they could have finished it out.
They're now looking ahead. They're going to have to
win a bunch.
Yeah, in district play because, man, some of these teams are not winning as much.
The Lutcher game is huge.
I think you're right. The Lutcher and
Assumption.
Something. How about Morgan State? Are they winning the two?
They don't have that many wins, and you're not in any danger to lose to them. South Lafourche played them earlier this year.
Well, the
beat
Lutcher,
the stuffing out of
if you
them.
can beat Lutcher, I think that could get you in.
Here it is a 6-point game as we start the third quarter.
Beat Lutcher to beat the teams you're supposed to be too.
Yep, no doubt. Jaden Coleman has it on the left baseline. The Terriers now going right to left. Johnson has it. Attack, shoots a tough shot. My goodness. That is a tough shot in traffic through contact, and he scores it. And it is an 8-point game.
10 points for Johnson.
Billy Ott back the other way, missed a bunny. Here come the Terriers. Jahari Coleman. Jaden Coleman and Jahari Coleman are brothers. They are the nephews of Summer and Lionheart Leslie. Then Jalen Coleman is the son of Jerwoski Coleman as Jaden goes up, misses the layup. Too many Colemans to keep track of on this Terrier team. Back the other way. Terrebonne lays it up and in. That's a good strong move from Renaj Smith. It's 37-31. Back the other way. Coleman goes to the floor. That's got to be a foul. Nope, they'll call a walk. Whew. A lot of contact there, but he's called for steps.
About 14 turnovers for the Terriers.
Terrebonne quickly the other way, and a blur at the rim. That is Mahoney who missed it. Now Vandebilt back the other way. Jaden Coleman kicks it to his big brother Jahari. Loses the dribble, out of bounds to the Tigers. So a sloppy offensive start for Vandebilt, letting Terrebonne have an opportunity here.
Early on in the second half, missed layups for the Terrebonne Tigers. That's 2 missed layups right by the rim.
Billy Ott getting it to Naj Smith. Smith attacks Kennard.
Nice.
Feeding it inside, and they missed the layup. Maddox again, another missed shot in the paint. Here comes Johnson, who's had the hot hand tonight, kicking it to Matthews from the parking lot. No. Rebound goes to Billy Ott. Billy Ott all the way through, underhand shot. No, gets his own rebound, lays it up. No, fighting for it. And it's going to be a pushing foul called on Kylan. Coach, the Tigers are getting amazing looks and are just not scoring.
That's about 4 missed layups right by the rim for the Tigers to start this third quarter.
Vanderbilt's got to up their defense because, boy, you can't rely on them just continuing to miss bunnies like that. Coleman working on Maddox. Maddox is a good on-ball defender. Following him like a hawk. Now the crossover. Works it to Matthews in the left corner. Matthews attacks. Lays it up, blocked. And they have a foul called. So it'll be 2 shots coming for the Terriers. Remember we were talking about Green Bay and the 49ers? The game might have just turned. Packers went forward on 4th and 1, got smushed. It's 3-0 Green Bay 49er ball.
Didn't it take turnover?
Oh, here we go. You said you were about to fumble.
Turnover on downs. Fumble on downs.
Matthews makes the free throw. I don't have a dog in the fight. Whoever it gives us the best chance to not have the Ravens win the Super Bowl, I'm cool with it. So if the 49ers got to be that team, then so be it. There's the second made free throw. It's 39-31.
Matthews' 8-point of the game.
Quiet. Mahoney working on Jaden Coleman. Mahoney attacks, dribbles off his foot. This is going to be a run out and maybe a flush. Matthews will lay it up instead. Now he's in double digits, and the lead is in double digits, 41-31. Billiot backing down. Tough shot, missed it. Rebound goes to the Terriers. Johnson. Terrebonne's reeling. They need to make a surge like right now, and then committing a foul is not going to help the cause. That'll be their third team foul of the half.
And the Tigers had a chance a minute ago to cut the lead to 4. And missed shots inside the paint.
Burden will check into the game for Terrebonne. Maddox will check out. Jaden Coleman attacks the right side into the body of Verdon. That's a strong move and a strong finish, and the lead is a dozen. Danger zone for the Tigers. They've got to answer. Vandebilt has got one of their biggest leads of the night, maybe their biggest lead of the night. Verdon gets the defenders up in the air, kicks it out to Mahoney. Mahoney to Billiot. Billiot attacks off the bounce. Tough shot. Got it. That's a big 2 for Kylan Billiot, and it's a 10-point game. Jahari Coleman coming back hard the other way on the left side of the floor. To Kennard. Kennard back to Coleman, back to Kennard. Into Cutting Johnson at the rim, and one. The MVP of this game, if Vanderbilt wins, at least so far, in my estimation, is Josiah Johnson. He has been tremendous tonight. His energy cutting to the basket has been one of the big stories of the game. And the Terriers lead by a dozen. Free throw is good, and it's a 13-point lead. Can the Tigers get back in it? Verdon to Mahoney, back to Verdon. We're getting it to Smith, to Mahoney in the corner. Deflected, stolen. Here come the Terriers. Matthews doesn't have numbers, shoots a mid-range anyway, missed it. Rebound goes to the Tigers, Mahoney.
Ooh, almost double dribble.
To Billiot, now back to Mahoney, top of the key. Reversing it to Smith. Smith on the right side. Reverse pass to the left side. Verdon for an NBA 3. Short. Rebound goes to the Terriers. Kennard. Home run pass down the floor to Matthews. 2-on-2 break. Matthews will lay it up. And we have an offensive foul.
Yeah, that was good defense right there by the Tigers.
That was Mahoney who took the charge. And with 4:06 to go in the third, let's see if that could spark a little momentum shift in the favor of Terrebonne.
For the Tigers to get back in this game here, down 13, they're going to have to stop the Terriers from scoring inside the paint. They're going to have to force everything from the outside.
Verdon coming the other way to Mahoney. Long 3. Nope. Rebound goes to Kennard.
Nice box out by Kennard.
And quietly, Coach, Terrebonne hasn't scored a whole lot lately as Kennard comes the other way. That's a tough shot. Missed it. Remember, they had like 19 points at the end of the first quarter. Well, they've got 33 right now. Mahoney quickly the other way into traffic, lays it up. Offensive foul. Kennard, guess who? Takes the charge. Draws Coach Jaworski Coleman up from his seat to give some applause.
And the way things are going for the Tigers, they make the shot inside the paint and get it waved off for the offensive foul.
They are now over the limit, so every foul the rest of the quarter will be free throws for Vandebilt, every defensive foul that is. Jahari Coleman to Johnson near midcourt, back to Coleman on the right side. Inside they go to Kennard. Back to Jahari Coleman on the right side extended. Now to Johnson, left side extended. Tight man-to-man defense from the Tigers. Coleman getting it to Johnson. Johnson up in the air. Or excuse me, that was Matthews up to Johnson in the corner for a 3. Boy, Vanderbilt is on a roll. They lead by 16. This one's slipping away from the Tigers in a hurry. Verdon to Billiot. Back to Verdon. Verdon kicking it to Smith. Smith steps into one, and it's an answer. And a timeout by Coach Brandon Brown. So with 2:59 to go in the third quarter, the Terriers lead 49-36.
Oh. Yeah, look, part of my concern at halftime for the Tigers was, did they use up too much energy to keep up with the Terriers in the first half. And I think early on in this quarter, it's proven to be true that they did.
You know, it's just like we said, they had 19 points at the end of the first quarter. They've got 17 points combined in the second and the third, and that's missing a ton of free throws. That's missing a ton of layups. They just are not doing anything easy right now on offense. And it's allowed Vandebilt to balloon out this lead a little bit. But a big 2:59. If Terrebonne could get this back into single digits here, make the Terriers think about it some. And the Terriers will inbound the basketball.
Trying to check the score sheet for a second if I got it correct or not.
Johnson to Coleman. Coleman getting it back to Johnson, now back to Coleman. That's Jaden Coleman. Now to Matthews. Matthews attacks off the bounce. Now reverses the dribble to the right side. Working on Renaj Smith. Being very closely guarded. Stolen away. Maddox at the rim. One-on-one. Lays it up and in. Well, there's a quick two for the Tigers, and it's 49-38.
So they can find their second win.
Matthews getting it to Coleman. Kennard, how about a three? Back-breaking three. That's a big shot from Sam Kennard, who's had a huge night. Terrebonne back the other way quick. At the rim, Smith missed it. Got his own rebound and gets it out of traffic to Verdon. Now Maddox trying to answer. Missed it. Rebound goes to the Terriers. Jaden Coleman coming hard in transition at the rim. He hits a blocking foul, and Jaden will be shooting two. How about the shooting of Sam Kennard tonight? He is in double digits. He has got 13 big points for the Terriers.
And Jaden Coleman just ripped that rebound away from the Terrebonne Tiger.
When this team is getting 13 from Kennard to go with the guard play, you can't guard him. There's no right answer as he misses the first.
I mentioned earlier where the Tigers got to force the Terriers to score from the outside, and the Terriers are.
Yep, they're saying, all right, no problem.
But you still have to stop the inside game of the Terriers.
Missed them both, so maybe that'll present an opportunity for Terrebonne. Maddox to Verdon. Verdon directing traffic, getting it to Gardner. Back to Verdon. That's Smith. Good ball movement from the Tigers, just having a hard time getting some clean looks. Gardner back to Verdon, steps into a long three. Got it. So the Tigers are starting to make some outside shots, and the lead's down to 11. Here comes Jaden Coleman to Matthews for a three, in and out. Rebound goes to Billiot. Billiot coming hard in transition with a head of steam, lays it up, missed it, hung on the front of the rim. Matthews back the other way, one-on-one, lost it but drew the foul. Verdon was not happy, and he is being hawk-eyed by the official out there. He better watch and make sure he doesn't say anything. Two shots coming for the Terriers.
Billiot had an aggressive move toward the rim, just missed the shot on the heavy traffic in the middle of that lane.
Doesn't it feel like every time the Tigers get close, something like that happens, and then it allows the Terriers to come back as the first free throw is good. They lead by a dozen. How many now for Matthews?
Get it after this.
Made them both. 12. Quickly the other way. Terrebonne gets it inside. Billiot is fouled. See, Matthews is just so consistent. He gets you 16 to 20 every game. Now Kylan will be going shoot two. Free throws have been an issue for the Tigers as Robert Brown steps in and telling the guys both ways, hey, knock it off. I think that's good officiating, letting them know, hey, man, we ain't going to tolerate it anymore. Billiot's free throw is good. And the lead is down to a dozen.
They're going to need every one of these down the stretch.
I was just about to say, you need them all now. You're down 12 in the second half, late in the third quarter. Billiot makes them both, and it's an 11-point game. Coleman across the timeline. That's Jahari Coleman. Getting up in the air to his little brother Jaden. Jaden feeds it to Matthews. Makes the mid-range shot. That's good execution from the Terriers and a smooth shot by Matthews. He's got 14. The reigning 4A district MVP. Billiot to Garner. Smith. Smith behind the back dribble. Picks up his dribble to Verdon. Now Smith on the left side. Loses the dribble. Saves it from out of bounds to Verdon. Pitching it to the corner. The Tigers are just having a very messy offensive possession, but they finally do draw a foul. With 28.7 to go, Jaworski. Coleman is not happy, saying, hey, you're all the way over here. Saying that the official not in position is the one who blew the whistle.
Yeah, they may have had contact. He's clear across the court. I mean, if you see it, you call it, right?
I would think. Terrebonne, Verdon. 25 seconds to go. Verdon. Reversing it to Maddox with the left, plays it up in. That's a good strong move there from Maddox. 11-point game. Here come the Terriers against the pressure. Boy, they got him beat down the floor, and they'll lay it up and miss, but draw the foul. That's Sandolph. So Sandolph will go and shoot some big free throws. With 10.7 to go, the Tigers are going to get Adams back into the game.
Seconds left to go in this quarter. See if the Tigers can maybe get a bucket right before the end of the third.
Would be big. Have a score update. I actually want to thank Vandebilt 9th grade student Cooper Odell for this score. Slidell 68, HL Bourgeois 54. Final score.
Oh.
It's a tough one for the Braves tonight in the North Shore. How about Cooper playing the 9th grade game over here today and then giving us a score?
Yeah,
missed them both. Here come the Tigers. Billiot attacks into the lane. Blocking foul and one. The Terriers disagree with the call, but it is a big one. Right as time expires in the third, it'll make it a single-digit game, and Kylan will be shooting a free throw alone with a chance to make it an 8-point game. Tigers hanging around.
Well, look, the defender had his ground, but he was moving backwards. He was falling back.
Billiot.
Two officials that called it had it blocked right away.
Squares it up, and we have an 8-point game. So that brings us to the end of the third quarter with our score, Vandebilt 56, Terrebonne 48. Hang on, we got a good one. It's our game of the week on ESPN 100.3.
Education, prevention, care. The Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute was recognized by the Louisiana Athletic Training Association with the President's Award for Excellence in Health and Safety. With a passion for ensuring the well-being of over 23,000 student athletes and covering 1,400 sports events annually, our athletic trainers are dedicated to providing the best care in sports medicine. Discover more about Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute at tghealthsystem.com.
It is an 8-point game, 56-48 in favor of the Terriers. How about this? The Tigers will have the first possession, so a chance to get a bucket and then now try to get another bucket with the 2 possessions in a row. Verdon gets it to the corner. How about a 3? Nope. Rebound goes up in the air, and it's out of bounds. Should be to the Terriers, and it is. Good call off of Quincy Adams. Can the Tigers make that run and make it a 1-possession game and really make the Terriers sweat? That'll be the telltale sign. Jahari Coleman has it clean taken away by Billiot, but there's a foul.
Well, who's calling that one on Vandebilt?
I don't know. I still don't know who the foul is on. And it's going to be Vandebilt ball. So it was something Terrebonne did. Coach Horner and Coach Brown are not happy. The Terriers keep possession. Johnson getting it to Nixon. Nixon attacks, loses it. Billiot's got it in transition. Billiot with a head of steam. Lays it up, draws the foul, and he will go and shoot two. Tell you what, you're just starting to get the feeling here in the last couple minutes. These Tigers are getting a little momentum. And if they could start converting at the free throw line, maybe make a big transition three, this game is far from over. Billiot with 2 shots. The first is no good. Kennard checks in. Jalen Coleman checks in. Sandolph and Jahari Coleman check out for the Terriers.
Free throws.
Billiot missed them both. My goodness. Coach Brown is going to be sick watching back this tape at all the free throws. Matthews back the other way, gets it to Kennard. Blocked away, but he's fouled. So 2 shots will be coming for Sam Kennard. With 7:21 to go, that's an eternity. Kennard shoots it up, and good.
Tigers need to find a way to get free fouls and get to the free throw line, but if they can't convert.
Yeah. It's a struggle. Kennard makes them both. Terriers take advantage. And it's a 10-point game, 58-48. Burden to Billiot. Billiot getting it to Gardner. Now Burden. Burden on the left side of the floor. Handing it to Smith all the way through. Missed it. Rebound goes to Kennard, but he loses it, and the Terriers will save it to Kennard. I thought Nixon was out of bounds. And we have a timeout, I think, given to Vandebilt just before they broke out into transition. Coach Veal will get the timeout.
Yeah, it was close. Kind of looked like he had stepped out.
So I'm going to put you in Brandon Brown's huddle. You're down 10, 6:55 to go. There's still a lot of time left in this one. How are you trying to get your guys to be laser focused and try to close this game out strong?
I mean, their effort's there. You know, just you got to execute on defense and keep those guards out of the paint. And again, force them. If they're going to beat us right here, make them beat us from outside, hitting the three instead of giving them the easy layups every time. You definitely cannot foul and put them at the line. If
you're Vandebilt, how do you be patient without stalling and getting away from what you do?
You got to keep the pedal down. You got to keep going.
Coleman, Jalen Coleman attacking across the timeline. Gets it to Kennard on the left side on the baseline. Kennard attacks all the way through, lays it up and in. My goodness. I said earlier in the game that Johnson would be the MVP of Vandebilt 1. We might have a different nominee for that. Kennard has been tremendous tonight. They get it inside on the other end and throw a wild shot up. Adams missed it. Kennard's got it, but it's taken away by Renaj Smith. But the Terriers pull it back away. Johnson. Matthews now off to the races, has it poked away from behind. Sloppy basketball both ways. Here come the Tigers. Billiot. Billiot spinning. Tough shot, and he will be called for an offensive foul. Johnson takes the charge. The Tigers can't believe it. Now the Terriers will have possession with 6:15 to go. And there's some perspiration on the floor.
Yeah, Billy, I'm a little frustrated trying to get to the paint. Not a good move, but Terriers are right there to take the charge.
Matthews. Working on Garner. Now the double comes, gets it to Johnson. Johnson all the way to the cup, lays it up, and in. My goodness, what a strong move. Johnson heard me giving his award to Kennard and said, hey, not yet. It's a 14-point game. Vandebilt trying to ice this one down inside of 6 minutes. Adams to Billiot to Smith for a three. Got it, a big three.
Good extra pass for Billiot.
And we have an inbounds violation, which will create an extra possession for the Tigers. Chance to get it back to single digits again. Garner gets it to Mahoney. Mahoney has made a couple of shots. Into Adams at the rim, loses it, and they're fighting on the floor for it. Great hustle. Billiot comes away with it, but he throws it to Kennard. Kennard now out of the scrum to Johnson at the rim. He was going for the facial, but instead he draws the foul. Josiah Johnson had evil intentions there. Whew. My goodness. Draws the foul and will be shooting 2. If he would have converted that dunk, we would have had a SportsCenter top 10 nominee.
Well, I was going to say that would have brought the crowd to his feet. His miss brought the crowd to their feet.
You could hear still that buzz around the gym as he misses the first free throw. Now one more coming. 5:27 to go. There's still a lot of time in this game. And he missed them both. So an opportunity now for the Tigers if they could secure the rebound, which they cannot. They traveled. Smith went to the floor and lost it. And now the Terriers will have possession. Coach Brown was very frustrated with something. I don't know if it was his team or with the officials, but he was very frustrated.
I think with his team.
Johnson to Kennard. To Matthews. Matthews doing a little dancing on the right side of the floor. Terriers will try to work a little clock perhaps. Into the lane, hop step, and he walked. Oh, tie ball. Terriers do keep the arrow. With 5:11 to go. .11 Vandebilt lead. Jalen Coleman. Got to get it in. Throws it up to Nixon and loses it. Here come the Tigers. Garner. He has it poked away, but he's fouled. So a foul is called on Vandebilt that time with 5:06 to go. That's their second team foul of the quarter. Brown is trying to just find that little bit of extra gas at the bottom of the tank of his team. Mahoney attacks the left side, shoots it up. No, rebound goes to Nixon. Nixon gets it out to Matthews. Matthews dribbling in traffic, gets it to Johnson, forces it inside, stolen away. Here come the Tigers, but they overshoot the pass to Billiot. Would have been a run-out layup, maybe even a flush for Billiot if they get it to him clean, but they overshoot the pass.
Well, both teams have 20 turnovers.
From the Terriers. Matthews to Johnson. Johnson getting it to Jalen Coleman on the left side. Coleman trying to get it inside. Kennard will catch it near the free throw line, loses it, and here come the Tigers if they could get the grip on it. Burden attacks the lane, blocked away by Johnson. Johnson's athleticism has changed this game. He has been all over the place tonight. Brandon Brown will call a timeout with 4:25 to go and Vandebilt up 11. Partner, this has been a really good basketball game. Both teams have had some moments.
Yes, again, let's thank the Gatorade Law Group and the Able Law Firm sponsoring tonight's high school game of the week.
That was a full timeout, but we'll keep it here. Why not? It has been a wonderful night for basketball here at Terrebonne. Again, the Terrebonne freshmen got a win. Then the Vandebilt JV got a win. And then now the Vandebilt varsity scored 25 and 11 points ahead, trying to split the tie.
Still a lot of time left.
Oh, you just get the sense if the Tigers could just make a few shots, man. But, boy, offense has just been such a struggle for them. They can make a few big ones. They could certainly get themselves back in it.
Should be Tiger basketball under their own basket.
Coach Brown used a timeout like 10 seconds into the game. Then he used another one in the first quarter. Then I think he used one in the third quarter. Then one here. I think he's down to just one. Burden to inbound. Get it to Billy out on the left block. Strong move, and he's fouled. That's a good strong move there right into Kennard. No doubt about that one. So Kylan would go and shoot. He shot a ton of free throws. Hasn't always been successful at the line, but he needs them both here. Billiot shoots it up. And it's good. It's a 10-point game, 62-52.
Terriers are trying to close out this game. They cannot be worried about officials if the foul is called. It's called. You got to keep your composure here and finish this game off for your Terriers.
You're in the bonus. Go draw some fouls on your end as Billiot makes them both. And it's back to single digits. Jalen Coleman will inbound. Gets it to Matthews. Matthews. And across the timeline. Working on Garner. Doing a lot of dribbling, and he's fouled, and he's going to go shoot two.
Whoa.
Garner is not happy, and I think he might have just fouled out of the game. I thought Matthews was a little out of control.
Coach Brown just saved his team from 2 points because he called Garner over right away and controlled him.
The way he was reacting as the free throw is good. The way he was reacting like he had fouled out of the game, but I guess he did not, but he's still out there. 4:09 to go, just an emotional moment. Didn't want to commit the foul. Matthews misses that one. Rebound to Billiot. Billiot coming hard. Tigers got to have it happen quick. There's a foul. That'll be the 14th foul on the Terriers. So now both teams are over the limit. And we've got Jaden and Jahari Coleman who will, just Jahari who will check in. Jaden will take a seat again. And Nixon will leave the game. Tigers get it into Billiot. Working on Johnson. Kylan doing a little dance at the rim. No, got his own rebound. Goes up and draws the foul. So Billiot will go shoot two more. Brandon Brown said on play-by-play, we need him to be more assertive. This is as assertive as we've seen him this year. He's been very aggressive tonight. He's got two big free throws coming up here. Billiot's free throw is good. Nothing but the bottom. And it's a single-digit game again.
Billiot is getting ready to take his 50th free throw of the game.
That's unbelievable. Second shot. Made them both. He's starting to convert them. 8-point game. And we have an offensive foul called on Matthews. And just like that, the Tigers are starting to carry some momentum again as Jaden Coleman will check into the game for Kennard.
Again, the Terriers are losing their composure just a little.
If Terrebonne can make a three here, boy, really make them nervous. Garner to Mahoney. Tough mid-range. No. Rebound high in the air to Johnson. Getting it to Jahari Coleman, and that's a defensive foul. So Jahari will be going shoot two. It's such a swing, man. You have a clean mid-range look. You convert it. It's a two-possession game. You miss, and now you foul them, and they got a chance to make it a double-digit game again.
Yeah, and Mahoney had a decent look at the basket. J.J. Johnson on the defensive rebound.
Flying in like a gazelle. Coleman's free throw is good. Give the Terriers credit. They have consistently shot the ball well at the line tonight. Nobody in the paint, so if he misses, Tigers should clean up the rebound, but he doesn't miss it. 10-point game. Billiot. The right side. Loses it. Stripped away by Johnson. Johnson is going to draw a foul on Billiot. That'll be two shots for the Terriers. Frustration foul by Kylan. And I think that's the fifth foul on Kylan. Yep, so Billiot is just fouled out of the game. That's a big blow to Terrebonne's chances as Johnson will go shoot two with 3:28 to go. Free throw is up and good. One more coming for Josiah Johnson. Got it. And it's back up to a dozen. 67 to 55. 3:24 on a rolling clock. Mahoney to the corner. That's Smith. Oh, Johnson tried to rip it away. And let me tell you something. If that foul would not have been called, it would have been showtime here in Houma. But the foul is called, and it'll be 2 free throws for the Tigers. Vandebilt needs to stop fouling. Stop putting them at the line.
Yep.
The only way they could beat you is if you turn over the ball and they make some free throws. Stop fouling them. Smith will be shooting 2.
Yeah, the crowd thinks this game's over.
Shame on them. Free throw's no good. One more coming for Renaj Smith, the guy they call Naj. Made that one. And it's an 11-point game. Johnson to Jaden Coleman. Across midcourt. Loses the dribble to Johnson. 3:06 to go. Can the Terriers run some time here? Jaden spinning into the lane at the cup. Or you could just do that. Just go into the lane and score it. Coleman continuing to have a big day. It's a 13-point game. Verdon to Smith. Smith at the rim. Lays it up and in. And it's an 11-point game. Matthews for the Terriers. Getting it to Jahari Coleman. Coleman to Johnson. Back to Jahari Coleman. 2:36 and counting. So you said earlier in the quarter you want to keep playing. Oh, they just lost it here. Mahoney coming in transition. Hop step, and he walked. But what I was saying a minute ago, earlier in the quarter, you said, hey, man, you got to keep going, pedal to the metal. Now with 2:28 to go, you're probably trying to run some clock here, right?
Yes.
Coach Vio, I think, is calling a timeout to tell his team exactly that.
Especially every time you get fouled, you're shooting 2. So you definitely want to slow the game down a little bit. But still, if you have a shot, you take it. But, again, you got to know the situation, the time, and situation of the game. You might have an open 3-point look. Now might not be the time to take that shot. You might want to bring it back out and run a little bit more offense.
With 14 seconds left in the opening half in San Francisco, the 49ers lead Green Bay 7-6 with 14 seconds to go in the half. But it is 4th down for the 49ers and they're in field goal range, so it might be about to be 10-6. Keep you updated. Here, the Terriers lead by 11, 69-58. It's been a very good ball game between 2 very good teams. And you know what I'm thinking about now as I'm seeing this, and it's looking like Vandebilt's got the edge. Tomorrow afternoon, Terrebonne has to get on a bus and go to reserve. That's
going to be tough for this team.
I was just about to say, this is such an emotional game here, such a physical game here. You got to go to a tough environment less than 24 hours from now. Matthews across the timeline, out of the timeout, getting it to Jaden Coleman, now to Johnson. Back to Matthews. He will attack. Feed it inside to Jalen Coleman, who lays it up and in. So you run a little clock and then get a wide open layup. Can't ask for any more. The Terriers are pretty much well in control now. Verdon. On the left side of the floor, getting it to Smith. Back to Verdon. The offense is too slow. You're down 13. You gotta move here. You can't have a 40-second possession. Mahoney to Smith. They get it to the corner for 3. No good. Rebound goes to Smith. Works it to Adams. Adams attacks. Missed it. Rebound goes to Coleman. And that's pretty much the story of the night for Terrebonne there. You've missed a ton of layups and a ton of free throws. That's allowed the Terriers to be where they are now, up 13 with 1:25 left, and Matthews lays it up and in. That's pretty much the icing on the cake there.
Oh, that'll do it.
Here come the Tigers. Mahoney into the lane, shoots it up. No. Rebound goes to the Terriers. Matthews in transition will lay it up and in. 75-58 with 1 minute to go. Coach Vio got some subs at the table. Miles Vick there about to check into the game as the Tigers laid in. Boy, an AAU game is broken out here. Stolen inbounds pass. They had the rim, laying it up. No. Tip up. No. Now the Terriers have it. Matthews, less than a minute to go. I want to thank Dominic Ducey in the studio pushing some buttons as Coleman attacks, gets it to Matthews. And congratulations to the Vandebilt Terriers getting a big road win against the Terrebonne Tigers tonight. Matthews on the right side of the floor with 25 seconds to go. Working on Mahoney.
I don't think his subs will get in.
Nope, don't think so. Jahari Coleman's got it. 15 seconds to go. Old Vicknair and Smith are going to have to get some action some other time. They'll throw up a lob to Johnson, who missed it. And now the Terriers will have it with Matthews, and he'll shoot a half-court shot at the buzzer that's no good, and that's the end of the ball game. With our score, Vandebilt 75, Terrebonne 60. Coach Brian Colley, some final thoughts as the Terriers come on the road and get a win.
Look, Terrebonne Tigers play their hearts out. A lot of guts, emotions out there. They play